Hi guys, so in this video we're going to work on a tuck entry to our handstand and also holding a tuck shaped handstand. Alright guys, so before we begin, can you just get your heart rate going? So a couple of burpees, some star jumps, running on the spot, running around your house, whatever you can do, just to get the blood flowing. Pause the video and then restart once you've done that. Guys, you should be a little bit warmer now. Let's start rolling the shoulders. And with a full circle of the arms, try and make sure that you don't allow your ribs to splay. So try and keep a nice flat back. Arms go right up and try and have straight arms the whole time, even when you're going around to the back. Sometimes the arms have a little tendency just to bend a little bit, but keep them as straight as possible. And keeping your arms up, we need to think about pushing as tall as you can and relax. I'm going to do 10 of these. And now little circles with the arms. So you really want to pull down through the lats and then extend up. Keep going. And now in the opposite direction. And pushing up as high as you can. You should start feeling a nice little burn in the shoulders. Keep going. And we're going to go down to shoulder height and back up. Really slow and controlled. You should start feeling a nice little burn in your shoulders. Handstands are all about the shoulders and having nice open shoulders as well, so we will work on that in a second. Lovely. And shoulder height, little circles round. And make them really, really small. It's like a little pulse through the arms. Lovely. And bringing it to the front. You're going to have lots of tension through the fingers. You're going to flex the hands down. And now with the accent up. And in. And out. And circle through the wrists. I like to just use the fingers as well. And in the opposite direction. And flashing the fingers. And a big circle round to finish. Lovely. We're going to have 5 deep breaths in this stretch. We are allowing ourselves to go deep into the back as well. I always bend my legs a little bit to intensify the stretch and then straighten them up again. So we're going to have 5 deep breaths here. Now what I want you to do is tilt the pelvis so you create a nice flat back. We're still going into the shoulders, but you probably feel like you can't go as far. Allow the shoulders to still feel a nice stretch even though we've tilted the pelvis. And have 5 breaths here as well. And bending the knees, rolling through the spine. Alright guys, so first of all, we're just going to do some bunny hops. So what I want you to think about is, when we're doing these bunny hops, is keeping the feet connected, keeping the knees squeezed. You've got to keep a nice extension through the arms. Make sure that you don't bend your arms, okay? It's really important, just because it's a weaker alignment, so we really want to keep the arms straight, okay? I find a lot when I do teach tuck handstands, people do tend to bend their elbows a little bit. So what I like to say to most of my students is, when you're pushing down into the floor, I like to push through the thumbs. It really helps with the external rotation. That is really, really nice to keep everything nice and straight, and also really strong foundation position for your tuck handstand, and any handstanding, to be honest. So, I'm going to find a little space. You can be near a wall. I'm going to start in a little tuck position. Hands, I like to have my hands hovering off the floor. Some people might like having them on the floor straight away. Pick your preference. We're going to do some little bunny hops. So you're going to kick and down. Okay guys, I hope you managed to do those. So if you are struggling with either keeping your knees together, maybe like roll up a little top and squeeze it between your knees. It's just a nice little incentive to keep the knees together if they kind of open ever so slightly. Yeah, so just something really soft, put in between your knees, and it'll just help with the tuck position. I also want you to think about and look at something. I want you to keep your knees close to your chest. It means that you need to shift the shoulders forward slightly to keep a nice flat back and to keep the knees tucked tightly into the chest. Don't let the tuck open. Most people end up with their feet hovering quite far over their bum. It's not really a tuck position then, it's quite an open position. So we're going to tuck up next to a wall. Okay. I want you to think about pulling the knees in and pushing them back. In and pushing back. In, pushing back. In, pushing back. You can see the change in the shape. Okay, really want us to be able to find the correct position from an incorrect position. So the incorrect position was the feet over and touching the wall. As you pull the knees, remember you need to shift the weight forwards so that it doesn't just pull you down out of the handstand. I want you to do 15 attempts of that, okay? So kicking up, feet on the wall, pull down, back to the wall. Okay, you might not be able to stay there for the whole 15. Come down and get started again. Alright guys, so now we're just going to use the wall just to help us get into a tuck if you're struggling getting up via the bunny hops. So this is a good exercise for everybody. It's a nice conditioning exercise just to keep the weight stacked on the shoulders. So you're going to go belly side to the wall this time. So you put your hands down. We're going to put our feet onto the wall. We're going to climb up, and you probably want to make sure that you can straighten your legs and you can take the weight forwards, okay? You can have a little bend in your leg. You push up in your arms and bend one leg in. We want to try and let the shoulders go forward so we can bend this leg and squeeze it in. Take it back to the wall and come down. Nice and gentle on the way down, okay? So we don't want to kick off the wall because the hands won't be able to catch the balance that quick. So it's a really, really slow push off the wall, and the idea is we can go and bend the knee together and then get back to the wall. So if it's quite frantic, we're probably not going to be able to get back to the wall. Come down really, really slow and controlled. Okie dokie, so we're going to move on to moving from our tuck handstand to our straight handstand. Being able to do lots of different entries is really fun. It mixes it up a little bit, and it really makes you, well, you need to know where the straight handstand is if you come into it from different entries. So from tuck, straddle, like a really funky movement to straight. Lots of the time you've got to rely on your body knowing where straight is. So drilling lots of different entries is key to a really, really solid handstand. So we're going to go from a tuck to a straight handstand. What I want you to think about is keeping your feet over your hips. Don't let them go over and create a banana shape, okay? If you do suffer with a bit of a bendy back, you might have a really bendy back, you're very, very lucky, but you're going to have to do lots of ab work, lots of dishes, lots of core work to be able to compensate for the bendy back that you've probably got, because you need to do the opposite, which is pull everything in and round the spine. So let's go from the tuck to the straight handstand. We're going to do it with the wall. If you want, you can do it freestanding. It's completely up to you, but you are going to do 20, okay? So pick your poison. Alright guys, so we're going to blend the lunge entry into the tuck, okay? So the first leg that goes up can make contact with the wall if you need it to. Before it goes to the tuck, it's completely up to you. The idea is that we're trying to blend two moves together. So we're trying to blend the lunge into a tuck handstand, okay? For a tuck handstand, the weight does need to be a little bit further forward than what most people like where it being. So just keep that in mind when you're doing this entry. So we've got our arms up, we do a nice long lunge. We're going to kick, the bottom leg's bending and the second leg bends in. If you fancy an extra challenge, extend and lower. Okay? So there's a few things there to think about. So first leg goes up, the second leg bends in. Top leg, pull it down. As it pulls down, do it very, very slowly, because you do need to transfer the weight forwards at the same time. For an extra challenge, undo what you did. Top leg and then the bottom leg lowers to the floor. Top leg will obviously follow. So a little bit of conditioning to finish. This exercise really makes you work hard. Okay, you've got to generate so much more power than you would from your feet. Okay, because you're lower to the floor. You've got the most closed shoulders you could ever go from. Okay, and you need to get your whole body up and on top of the shoulders. So this is quite a hard exercise. Okay, so I will show you now what we're going to do. If you can, use the toes. If you need to, you can go from just the balls of your feet, but we are dancers, so hopefully you're not afraid of a little bit of pain. So I'll show you now what we're going to do. Push through and up. Alright guys, so just to finish now, so come down to the floor, spread the fingers, just going to do some little circles. And the other way. From side to side. And turn your hands towards you and doing tiny little circles. And the other way. Lean back slowly. Just get a nice stretch in the forearms. Through. Just a little wrist stabilisation, and the other way. And just to finish, just going to stretch out the shoulders, so take the hands, stretch them out in front. You want to go onto the tips of the fingers if you need an extra stretch. Keep the bum up, stretch the hands away, and lower the shoulders to the floor. Take one hand out to the side and push into the straight arm just to intensify the stretch. And switch sides. And both hands back in the middle